Before we went to the break, if you work for the state of Alabama, you've got to be delighted. You've got to be happy. Yesterday, Governor Kate Ivory, the new governor of Alabama, the new elderly lady governor of Alabama, Kate Ivory, issued a memorandum, an official memorandum. And in her memorandum, she declared July 3 a state holiday. Now, July 4 is also known as the 4th of July, also known as Independence Day. That is a holiday, Independence Day. That's when we commemorate the birth of the nation. Independence, declaring independence from our evil overlords. Now, that's a real holiday, Independence Day, July 4th, but July 3, not a holiday, a work day, a day to still be productive and keep our civilization moving forward. But no, in Alabama, Kate Ivory has declared July 3 a state holiday. So if you're a state worker, happy, happy, joy, joy. Here's what the memorandum says. Quote, all state offices will be closed on that date, except for those in areas where it is essential to maintain personnel. If it is necessary for any employee to work that day, they should be allowed time off as soon thereafter as possible. End quote. So, not only are you getting a day off that you shouldn't get because it's not a holiday, not only are you getting the day off, if you have to work that day because you're essential, they're promising you time off. They're going to make it up to you with time off later that has to be given to you as soon as possible. It's looking good. Being a state worker looks pretty good to me. Now, I don't know. Maybe it's harder than I think, but it's looking pretty. Somebody's giving you a day that's not even a holiday. Now, does this mean, I hate to be cynical, because I know you don't like cynicism, that you, the listener, you're very optimistic and positive, and you never, ever look cynically at anything. I hate to be cynical, but does this mean that Kate Ivory is definitely running for governor? Because that's a big, if I were working for the state, I'd be liking her right about now. It's good work if you can get it. More in a moment, right after traffic and weather together. We do it every 10 minutes on the 9s.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
The biggest problem this morning is for I-65 drivers. We're still looking at an accident on the ramp, which connects southbound I-65 to eastbound I-10. Right lane on the ramp is blocked, but the left lane is passing. There is at least a mile-long delay on the southbound side of I-65 approaching the area. Also a crash on eastbound I-10 near Dolphin Island Parkway, and a water rescue underway at the causeway. So this occurred in the Spanish Fort area. Got a vehicle that ran off the roadway and into the water near the Sims Bridge. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Ray Romero.
This report is brought to you by Compassion International. Every child is born with talents, hopes, and dreams, but poverty will steal those dreams. You can help a child find hope when you become their sponsor with Compassion International. Give a child a chance to dream again. Find out how at compassion.com/radio.
Gulf Coast weather from Local 15 and the Southern Cancer Center. Weather Center.
Good Thursday, everyone. We've got a flash flood watch in effect for most of Mobile and Baldwin counties as heavy rain will be with us. Showers and storms will produce up to 3 inches of rain in spots. Otherwise, it's a cloudy day with a high in the low 80s. A few showers tonight will give way to more storms on Friday as we climb into the upper 80s. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn for Local 15 News and this iHeart radio station.
This report is brought to you by the T.J. Martell Foundation.
Hey everybody, I'm Eric Church, asking you to join me in the fight against leukemia, cancer, and AIDS through the T.J. Martell Foundation. Your support helps facilitate cutting-edge research that will lead to more effective treatments and save more lives. Visit tjmartell.org to learn about music's promise for a cure.
We love Nick Saban. Just wanted to get that out of the way. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show, thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. News Radio 710 WNTM, 99.5 FM, The Jag. In the last segment of the show, I was explaining to you that Governor Kate Ivory has declared Monday, July 3, which is not a holiday. It's just a regular day, but Kate Ivory has declared it a state holiday. So state workers get a day off, or if they have to work, they are promised a day off in the future. I've never worked for the government, but it looks good. Now maybe it's just the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence, but it looks good. I'm thinking I wished if I had a time machine and I could go back and talk to a young me. There's a lot I'd like to tell myself. By the way, I want the time. By the way, if I don't want a DeLorean or I don't want to sit in a chair. Any of the time machines you see in the movies. I don't want a hot tub time machine. I'd like something like a Buick. I don't want an SUV, but something like a Buick or a Cadillac, a really big 8-cylinder type vehicle. But I would like to go back in time in my time Buick or time Cadillac and then meet young me. And there's a lot of things I would tell young me. I would tell young me, first thing I would say is, don't worry, Saban is on the way. Just hang in there. It'll look really bad. You're going to be very upset. It's numerous times. I don't want to give anything. I don't want to spoil it for you because I want you to enjoy the football seasons. But hang in there. Saban is on the way. So calm down on that front. Then, of course, I would give advice on women. This would avoid that one. When you see that one, leave the street if you see that one. So I would give myself that kind of advice. But I would also tell young me, after getting out of my time Buick, educate yourself and get a government job because time is valuable. Money is good. Income is very important, but time is very valuable. And if you can get a job for the state of Alabama, you're going to get this day off and that day off, and then Kate Ivory will one day be governor and will declare days that are not holidays, and you're get into government work. And also learn, well, there's a lot. I would probably have to spend a weekend with young me and lecture. A lot of lecturing is going on. All right, let's see. Let me go into the email inbox. I'm getting email on this topic. Subject line on the email is time travel. Email reads, "Good morning, Henry. If you ever get to time travel backwards, please look for me. Take me by the collar and shake me vigorously and give me the same message you want to give your young self. I'm the guy toiling for the man with the boot on the back of my neck. Thanks in advance." And that email from the Common Man. Well, Common Man, there's a lot I need to tell myself. And I don't know what the rules of time travel are. I don't want to go. I like now because TVs are better now. So I don't want to stay. I don't want to go. I'm not one of those good old days people. Because, the TVs. A 65-inch TV with college football on it. And it's Saban. I don't want to go back and stay.
President Donald Trump pledged to build a wall to keep America safe.
The wall's going to get built, and the wall is going to stop drugs, and it's going to stop a lot of people from coming in that shouldn't be here.
But liberals are fighting Trump every step of the way, even creating sanctuary cities where police are prohibited from turning over illegal immigrants. Alabama's Senator Luther Strange is working to build Trump's wall and keep us safe. Strange introduced Senate Bill 1126, the Securing the Border and Protecting Our Communities Act. Senator Strange's bill will take federal funds away from sanctuary cities that defy our immigration laws and use that money to build the wall. Call Senator Luther Strange at 205-731-1500. And tell him to keep working to pass S1126. Tell him to keep fighting to build President Trump's wall.
Hey, welcome back. Facebook. Hey, Facebook. It's just me and you on Facebook. And I want to talk to Ariel. Join me because, Ariel, my goodness gracious. Now, earlier in the week, Ariel, you came in Tuesday morning and you were really hobbling. You were limping. You were hurt.
Yes.
Now, this morning, you don't look hurt, but you look like somebody needs to put you on a stretcher and wheel you out into some...
Between like physical exhaustion and my back is really killing me, I could stand to go home now.
Okay, well, look, if you need... can you hang in there until 8 o'clock?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just please hang in there because Darwin... We're going to start a new thing where Darwin is going to try to call the show every day at 7:50.
Okay.
And I want to make sure I'm able to grab his call. So if you can just hang in there for a little while longer.
Absolutely. I'll be here.
Okay.
I'll be here till it's over.
Okay. Ariel, really today, this week, this has been the first week that you have physically seemed to be depleted in some way.
I am. Like, I am so ready for the vacation of next week. It's not a real vacation, but I don't have to work as hard next week, so I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. Well, I am too.
Yeah. It's going to be a wonderful thing.
How are you going to use your time? Just extra sleep, extra rest? How are you going to use your time?
Extra sleep. Get this. The pole studio is closed until Wednesday. So until Wednesday, I just got time to just kind of lollygag around.
The pole studio. You know what? Because you've got the mother as a librarian, you have a better vocabulary than anybody in my family. Lollygag? What a great word.
Lollygag.
What a great word. I just love that. Now, would you feel comfortable putting that in one of your scripts?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Real life is the best thing to write about.
Mm-hmm.
People want to read that.
I have had people tell me that I needed to use smaller words on the air.
Then you tell them to use a bigger brain.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's not your fault.
Not that I'm using really big words, but you'll hear things like that. Stick to your guns. Stick to your lollygag.
Lollygag.
But you mentioned that you're looking forward to not having all that and the pole class is shut down. I was reading about vacations this week, about advice on how to have a good one.
Uh-huh.
I always like to have no schedule, but I read that if you really want to enjoy a vacation, that you should plan even more activities that you can actually do. That if you take a vacation and you don't do anything, then you're going to feel like you wasted your time. And
that's not a thing.
I agree. I would rather. I don't want to be scheduled.
No. In fact, for a change, I'm actually going to try and stay in the house this weekend. Normally, I say I'm going to stay in the house, and then I get up and go to the mall or something. This weekend, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not.
All right, Ariel, hang in there.
I shall.
Hang in there. Ariel depleted. She injured herself on the pole. Injured herself in the pole fitness class, and she injured herself, and it's one of those things where you look at somebody and know they're injured. In fact, I've noticed with people that have back problems, that's easy to spot. Because it does affect your entire person when you have a back problem. All right, we're about to go back on the radio. Stand by.
News, I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn for this iHeartRadio station.
Henry on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show, thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. In the last segment of the show, I was talking about how the governor of Alabama, Kate Ivory, has declared Monday a state holiday, even though it's not a real holiday. It's just a day that we should all spend just being productive, making sure civilization is moving forward. But Kate Ivory has declared it a state holiday. And I was thinking how great it would be to be a government worker that maybe that would be better because I would have more time as a human being. Time is very valuable. You can have extra time for your children, your grandchildren, your dog, your cat, your hobby. Maybe you build things out of popsicle sticks and you want to build popsicle stick houses or whatever it is you do. And wouldn't it be great to go back in time and tell a young me to become a government worker? Well, I just got an email from my boss. Now, I don't think I've ever gotten an email from my boss while I've been on the air. They usually wait to criticize me when I'm off the air. Let me go into the email inbox. I have an email from my boss. Subject line on the email is July 3. Email reads, July 3 is a company holiday for us too. And that email from Ronnie Bloodworth, who is in charge of Mobile, Pensacola, iHeartMedia. So our company's doing it too. See, what are we going to do in this country with, we can't just have a holiday. It's work. Is work give people a rash? Work? You expect me to work on a day that's right after a Sunday and before a holiday? So our company is falling for this too. Well, I guess I don't have to go back in time because my own company is bought into this. As Western civilization circles the drain. I've got another email on this topic. How about that? So now, well, at least I'm saving money on having to, because I'm sure to buy a time travel device, like a time travel Buick, it would cost just an enormous amount of money. But I've got another email on this topic. Subject line on the email is Roll Tide Unk. Email reads, good morning. Maybe with Independence Day on Wednesday next year, 2018, Kate Ivory will declare the whole week 4th of July week. This sounds like something out of the LoveGov playbook. Let's pray Jim Ziegler is the next governor. And that email from 60-year-old Chris in West Loxley, who adds, P.S. Roll Tide Roll, Uncle Chris. Thank you for your Roll Tides, first of all. Let me reply with a live, not recorded, Roll Tide Roll. Now, you're right, because in 2018, it's not going to be on a Tuesday. It'll be on a Wednesday. And then what is the state going to do? Because people are already used to having the Monday off. What are they going to do? They're going to declare the whole week? Independence Week. People are already used to this. Some family, they'll raise their children so that they don't just have a birthday. Today is your birthday. Happy birthday. Instead, oh, it's your birthday week. It's the week of your birthday. Of course you can have ice cream for breakfast. It's your birthday week. You don't have to pick up your underwear off the floor or stop wearing it on your head because it's your birthday week. So we've gotten this attitude in our country. And you're right, Chris of Loxley. People in Loxley, they ponder in the fast-paced hustle-bustle of Mobile in the Eastern Shore. You're so busy, you don't have the time. But in Loxley, they sit, they ponder. They have clotheslines. He's pondered this. And in Loxley, he realizes that next year, it'll be on Wednesday. People are already getting used to having the day after the Sunday preceding the Independence Day on Tuesday, and they're going to want a whole week. When are we ever going to get anything done? All right, look, I know you don't want to hear this, that you're holiday oriented. You think it's great. You would really like to just work about 3 hours a day, if that. And then go watch whatever it is you're going to watch on your TV, some reality show about a person that's actually living a life. So I'll try to get off this topic. I know that you're upset about it. But so if you work for the state of Alabama, congratulations, because you're getting your July 3, which is not a holiday, has been transformed into a holiday. And for me, I need to congratulate myself, my company, inexplicably and strangely declaring July 3. Maybe your company also does not want to be productive, and your company also wants to spiral downward, and maybe your company is going to declare July 3 a holiday as well. I'll pray for us all. I'll have extra prayer time on July 3. All right, other things to get into. In fact, for the radio listener, news, traffic, weather, all of that coming up, including Darwin, the wisdom of Darwin. Then right after that, we're going to jump into the Daily Reagan. That's next on the Uncle Henry Show.
This is a Bloomberg Market Minute. Shares of Rite Aid and the regional pharmacy chain Fred's are falling in pre-market trading after Walgreens terminated its previous merger deal with Rite Aid. Walgreens will now purchase around 2,200 Rite Aid stores and other assets from that company for around $5.2 billion. Fred's is falling because under the now terminated merger deal, it was going to be acquiring stores from Rite Aid. Staples is up almost 2% before the opening bell, with news that Sycamore Partners has agreed to acquire that chain for around $6.9 billion. This is one of the largest retail deals of the year. Today we're watching for the third and final reading of economic growth in the first quarter. Economists surveyed by Bloomberg are estimating an annualized growth rate of 1.2%. We also get the weekly jobless claims numbers and the Bloomberg Consumer Comfort Index. Stock futures are mixed this morning. S&P futures are up 6 points. Dow futures are up 39. NASDAQ futures are down 13. NYMEX crude oil is up 1.3% at $45.31 a barrel. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
We're here with John McNeil of McNeil Aarons Lambert Financial Group. John, what sets McNeil Aarons and Lambert apart from other financial firms in our area?
Uncle Henry, our clients tell us a number of different things, but probably the number one thing is our plan.
What do you mean?
Well, Uncle Henry, any firm can help you invest your money, but at McNeil Aarons and Lambert, we develop a plan based on your current and future income needs. We make sure that each of your buckets of money complement each other and not contradict each other.
Buckets?
Yes, we look at your 401k, your IRA, savings, Social Security, investments, everything. We put them all on one page and show you how much income we can provide for how long, with no obligation on their part.
Folks, call McNeil Aarons Lambert Financial Group at 666-5000. That's 251-666-5000. Or find them online at malfinancial.com. That's malfinancial.com.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
We're still looking at an accident on the southbound I-65 ramp to eastbound I-10. The right lane on the ramp is blocked. Left lane is passable, and sizable delays remain on the I-65 approach to I-10 as a result. Also looking at a crash on eastbound I-10 near Dauphin Island Parkway. That one involves an injury. And a lot of drama in Spanish Fort today. We had a water rescue that happened on the causeway near the Sims Bridge. Vehicle ran off the road, landed in the bay. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Ray Romero.
Gulf Coast weather from Local 15 and the Southern Cancer Center. Weather Center.
Good Thursday morning, everyone. Get the rain gear ready to go. Showers and storms will be with us all day long, and heavy rain is likely. Most of us will see between 1 and 2 inches of rain, but some spots will pick up to 3 inches of rain by the evening hours. Otherwise, expect gray skies with highs in the lower 80s. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn for Local 15 News and this iHeart radio station.
4 deaths in 4 days. I'm Local 15's Darwin Singleton with this iHeartRadio News Update. Another deadly shooting overnight marks Mobile's 4th homicide in 4 days. The latest killing happening at Ridge Manor Apartments in Mobile. MPD has not confirmed the identity of the victim, but a resident tells us it was a security guard at the complex. No word on any arrest at this hour. Mobile police have also reported a woman was robbed and shot in the leg yesterday. Neighbors say they believe the woman drove to a house on Illinois Street after she was shot. So far, no word if an arrest has been made, but the victim has been hospitalized with a non-life-threatening injury. Today, a community rallies in support of a retired Marine shot during a home invasion. Volunteers will make their way to the Bailey's Corner community just north of Dauphin Island to the home of Michael Irvin to repair damage from bullet holes in his front door after he foiled a recent home invasion. The team will also clean up his property. Meanwhile, Chastity Dulabon, the final suspect in that home invasion, faces a judge in just a few hours. Dulabon, along with Casey Gann and Joseph Heathcock, all facing charges in the case, all three behind bars this morning. Gators and kayaks at Five Rivers Delta Center on the Causeway in Spanish Fort. You can take part in Gators After Dark's tour Friday at 10, or how about Wild Natives Tour's Stars Fell on Alabama kayak tour? That's at Five Rivers too, every evening, beginning just after sunset. News breaks while you sleep, so when you wake, we'll catch you up on what's happening along the Gulf Coast and around the world every weekday morning on Local 15 Today. We start at 5 a.m. I'm Local 15's Darwin Singleton for this iHeart radio station.
Fox News Radio, I'm Paul Stevens. It takes effect tonight, President Trump's controversial travel ban.
Anyone trying to come into the United States from 6 nations deemed terror threats and all refugees must show a bona fide relationship with a U.S. citizen or entity. Bona fide family includes parents, spouses, children, siblings, and sons and daughters-in-law. Not included are grandparents, aunts and uncles, and fiancés.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland in Washington. Senate Republican leaders setting a new deadline for a deal on health care reform.
South Carolina Republican Senator Lindsey Graham told MSNBC lawmakers have a deadline to try and strike a deal on health care by the end of this week.
If we don't reach agreement by Friday, is probably the end of a sole party effort for health care.
And then in theory, senators would vote when they return to the Capitol.
Fox's Mike Emanuel on Capitol Hill. Fox News. We report. You decide.
If you want to sell your house, if you need to sell your house, this message is for you. I'm Uncle Henry, here to tell you about Sandy Frost of Robertsboro. And hello, Facebook. Facebook, good morning to you. We're about to go to the Daily Reagan here on News Radio 710 WNTM, the Uncle Henry Show. I see that we've had a lot of people watching on Facebook. I'm glad to see that. That's a wonderful thing. Maybe Facebook should purchase. Facebook is going to Hollywood, and they're trying to buy scripted shows. So maybe TV can work on Facebook if you're looking to get an audience of 9 people. We'll be back on the radio in just a moment with more Uncle Henry Show. Let's see. Bear with me. I'm lining up the Daily Reagan to make sure that I actually have the Daily Reagan. Now, I'm getting more email from people, by the way, to tell me that their companies are also taking off Monday. So it is, if you want to know what's going on with society, how it's falling, that this will be a big indication. Is the fall of society as caused by taking holidays that aren't really holidays. Let's see, bear with me for a moment. Almost there in finding the Daily Reagan. Okay. They're ready to go. I also had some people online criticizing the governor, Governor Kate Ivory, saying it's Ivy, it's Ivy. No, listen, it's Ivory.
You know what, Alabama? It's time for a woman to be the governor. And there ain't no other woman is better qualified than Kate Ivory.
See, it's Kate Ivory. So, all right, stand by. We're back on the radio. Uncle Henry Show, thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. Coming up in about 15 minutes, we're going to talk with Darwin. You know who he is. Find out what he's been covering this morning at Local 15. Before we get anywhere else, though, the Daily Reagan. The Daily Reagan, a presentation of SAD Healthcare. SAAD is how you spell it, sadhealthcare.com. Please absorb the Daily Reagan into your mind.
But they truly don't understand the principles so eloquently stated by Abraham Lincoln. Quote, "You cannot strengthen the weak by weakening the strong. You cannot help the wage earner by pulling down the wage payer. You cannot help the poor by destroying the rich. You cannot help men permanently by doing for them what they could and should do for themselves."
I wonder what he'd say about people getting July 3 off. He kept talking about wage earners and people doing things for themselves. The Daily Reagan, a presentation of SAD Healthcare, SAAD, sadhealthcare.com. And yes, we continue on the Uncle Henry Show. I've got another email on the topic of how July 3 is not really a holiday, but government and now private industry making it a holiday, destroying all productivity in our lives. Subject line on the email is July 3rd holiday. Email reads, "Good morning, Uncle Henry. Going out the door on the way to her employment, Mrs. Bama Big Man, my wife, said her company is off Monday also, and she's ecstatic. She said you can work all holidays if you want, but she opts for paid time off." And that email from Bama Big Man. All right, well, Bama Big Man, your wife, she's like the rest of America. That let's take days that aren't really holidays and transform them into holidays. But as Chris said from Loxley, what are we going to do next year when it's in the middle of when we have Independence Day on a Wednesday? What's that going to do? People are not going to work all week long. Even if they don't get the day off, they're going to go to work and be resentful and bitter that they're at work. They're going to resent that they've got a job. They're going to resent it, and the productivity will plummet. They'll just sit there. They'll be on Facebook complaining about how they want to be off. I'm doing hand signals that I'm typing onto a keyboard. All right, traffic and weather together. Every 10 minutes on the nines, then additional show.
Time-saver traffic from the Dean McCrary Volkswagen Traffic Center.
We're still looking at an accident on the southbound I-65 ramp to eastbound I-10. The right lane on the ramp is blocked. Left lane is passable, and sizable delays remain on the I-65 approach to I-10 as a result. Also looking at a crash on eastbound I-10 near Dauphin Island Parkway. That one involves an injury. And a lot of drama in Spanish Fort today. We had a water rescue that happened on the causeway near the Sims Bridge. Vehicle ran off the road, landed in the bay. With time-saver traffic, I'm Ray Romero.
This report is brought to you by the T.J. Martell Foundation.
Hey everybody, I'm Eric Church, asking you to join me in the fight against leukemia, cancer, and AIDS through the T.J. Martell Foundation. Your support helps facilitate cutting-edge research that will lead to more effective treatments and save more lives. Visit tjmartell.org to learn about music's promise for a cure.
Gulf Coast weather from Local 15 and the Kemco Metal Buildings Weather Center.
Good Thursday, everyone. We've got a flash flood watch in effect for most of Mobile and Baldwin counties as heavy rain will be with us. Showers and storms will produce up to 3 inches of rain in spots. Otherwise, it's a cloudy day with a high in the low 80s. A few showers tonight will give way to more storms on Friday as we climb into the upper 80s. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn for Local 15 News and this iHeart radio station.
This report is brought to you by the Foundation for a Better Life.
While many rose up with violence, he sat down for peace. Mahatma Gandhi reached out with the strength he cultivated within his soul. So, pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
Your home for traffic and weather on the 9s every morning. This is News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show. Thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. In about 10 minutes, Darwin. You know who he is. Find out what he's been covering today at Local 15. Real quick here, the President of the United States has tweeted he just tweeted. President Trump has tweeted the following. New sugar deal negotiated with Mexico is a very good one for both Mexico and the U.S. Had no deal for many years, which hurt U.S. badly. So the president tweeting about sugar. And I've never paid any attention. No offense to the sugar producers of our nation, but I've never paid attention to the sugar deal. So I'll look into that later. Right now, Angelo's with us from MobileBayCoins.com in Mobile. Hey, Angelo, is Mobile Bay Coins open Monday, July 3rd, or have you declared it a Mobile Bay Coins holiday?
No, Uncle Henry, we will be here normal hours. I heard that this morning, and I've got to admit, it just really fired me up, which is not what I want on a Thursday morning, but for goodness sakes, we have so many issues in our state. The budget is a problem. We're spending money like mad and not getting things done. And she's going to solve these problems by giving all the state workers an extra paid holiday?
Hey, well, look, I'm sure, I don't want to be cynical, but I'm sure the state workers, they're going to love her. They're going to love Mama Ivory. Mama Ivory has given them some paid time off. And they may want to vote for Mama Ivory to continue being governor next year. But enough of that. We'll get off of that for now. Right now, it's me and you, Angelo of MobileBayCoins.com, and we have another 1 to 3 inches of rain today. Now, your neighborhood, A-OK. I know that you don't have flooding in your yard or at your business. What about between your house and your business? Everything okay when it comes to the drainage in your neighborhood?
Pretty good, but I did have to cross Old Government Street there to get to the shop, and there's a couple areas of Old Government that get a little damp and a little wet, but with my truck, I'm okay.
No offense to Old Government Street in Mobile, but that street is a problem even bone dry.
It really is. I would say that it's probably in close competition with Ann Street as far as being the worst section of the street or the least maintained. But that being said, if it's a cold, even a hot, humid, nasty, rainy day out there, and you don't really know what to do or where to go, come by the shop and check things out, ask some questions. The last week or so, with all the extra rain, we've had a lot of people come in and asking questions about things. What should they get into? Looking at Morgan silver dollars, $2.50 gold pieces, things like that, and it gives them some time to think about things and not just jump into something impulsively.
Okay, so Mobile Bay Coins is located at 2204 Government Street, Midtown Mobile. Very friendly atmosphere there. And you've been telling us this week that you've only got a few of the white whale coins left as part of that pirate series. Do you still have one left?
I believe so. I know we had somebody looking at it at the end of the day yesterday, but I do not believe that one's been purchased. So we do have the white whales left. Next week I will be going to a coin show. So for other needs that people have in the coin and bullion side of things, come by the shop and talk to me, because I'll be doing some shopping at one of the biggest coin shows in the country next week. And I'd be happy to look for things for our customers. But you got to tell me what you're looking for. So come by the shop and talk to me, maybe show me some examples of coins in your collection, and we'll see what we can hook up for you.
Very good. Mobile Bay Coins, 2204 Government Street, Midtown Mobile, MobileBayCoins.com, and on Facebook. Angelo, have a great day.
Radio for real men.
Surprise, surprise.
The Rush Revolution rolls on. Weekdays at 11, News Radio 710, WNTM.
I'm Scott Armstrong with Kimco Metal Buildings. Whether you need a building for commercial, storage, church, or community use, Kimco has been designing and constructing the highest quality steel buildings for our customers for almost 50 years. Kimco will use state-of-the-art software and our many years of experience to help you custom design your new metal building. Check out our website at kimcobuildings.com. That's KEMKO, or call us at 251-626-0594.
You don't want to mess with the IRS. They have the power to garnish your paycheck, levy your bank accounts, and even take your...
Uncle Henry Show here on Facebook. Hey, Facebook! Waiting for Darwin. Darwin will be calling in at some point, allegedly in the next few minutes, to tell us what he's covering at Local 15. Darwin, very active. He doesn't just read the news. He works behind the scenes there at Local 15. So we'll be talking. You know who Darwin is. So we'll be talking to Darwin here in just a few minutes on the Uncle Henry Show. There are things going on locally. One of the stories, I don't know, I've mentioned it already a couple of times this week, but I'm looking forward to the announcement tomorrow from the amusement park in Foley, where they're going to tell us when they're going to open and what the admission price is going to be. I really think that's going to be huge, that it's going to attract more people than we realize. Once they're open for a few months and we get into this time next year, I think it's just going to be colossal for Lower Alabama. And those are the kind of jobs. We've had a lot of great job opportunities pop up locally for aerospace and things like that. But me and members of my family, we're not bright enough for those jobs. We need jobs where we take the ticket. That's the kind of job that me and members of my family, we can handle those jobs. So I like it that there are some jobs that you don't have to be really smart to do. No offense to the people that will be working there. But that's the kind of job opportunity I'm glad is out there. And if anything ever goes wrong for me here and you want to find me, I might be at the roller coaster, making sure you're tall enough to get on it. All right, let's see. Waiting for Darwin's call. We're going to go into traffic and weather and then come right back with more show.
Know the thing from the summer of 2010?
How do you know about that thing?
Just play it. iHeartRadio gives you the best live radio and your music in one place. So upgrade now and play exactly what you want to hear. iHeartRadio free, iHeartRadio Plus, and iHeartRadio All Access powered by Napster. Go to iHeartRadio.com now to upgrade.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
We have had a lot of problems in the rain this morning. One of them is an accident on eastbound I-10 near the Range Line area. We have a couple of vehicles that are kind of on the left shoulder median, and this in turn has produced a backup that looks like about 2 miles, if not more, in length. Also, southbound I-65, very stubborn accident, still working on the ramp to eastbound I-10. The right lane on the ramp is blocked. Left lane is passing. Delay from this is back to before Halls Mill. Time Saver Traffic, I'm Ray Romero.
This report is brought to you by the T.J. Martell Foundation. Join the T.J. Martell Foundation in the fight against leukemia, cancer, and AIDS. Your support helps facilitate cutting-edge research that will lead to more effective treatments and save more lives. Visit tjmartell.org to learn more.
Gulf Coast weather from Local 15 and the Southern Cancer Center. Weather Center.
Well, here we go again. The rain is back. It will be heavy at times today. Most areas can expect between 1 and 2 inches of rain by this evening. However, 3 inches or more of rain is possible in a few places. Otherwise, it's a mostly cloudy day and cool with a high of only 82. For Local 15 News, I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn for this iHeartRadio station.
Traffic updates every 10 minutes on the 9s every morning. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show, thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM 99.5 FM The Jag. And we're watching for Darwin. Darwin allegedly, now maybe he'll call, but you never know, because when news happens, Darwin must spring into action. So he may be springing or sprung. He may have sprung a moment ago. But we're supposed to talk to Darwin allegedly at some point here in a few moments. I wanted to mention, I've talked this morning about the upcoming holiday that should be just one day, Independence Day, but it's turning into just an endless holiday. Aside from that, I saw a story about the latest fad diet. And doctors are warning you about the latest fad diet, that it's unhealthy, and it's called, now you're going to think it's a joke, that it's made up, because it sounds made up, but it's real. It's the Sleeping Beauty diet. And the theory behind the diet is that you can't eat too much if you're not awake. And people are taking opioids so that they can sleep during the day and not eat. This is a thing. This is a thing that people are actually doing. Ariel and I talked about it earlier this morning, and she said that it does play into, and it kind of ties into people being off Monday, that it is a silliness where people just don't want to do the effort. They don't want to do the work. Instead of the actual work of losing the weight, they'd rather take a pill. Only this pill, instead of being a fat-burning pill, it just knocks you out so you can't eat. And yes, not good for you to go on the Sleeping Beauty diet. The way the news stories were written, it is predominantly females that are on the Sleeping Beauty diet. Now, I'm kind of skeptical. As I said, it sounds like a joke, even though it was written up in allegedly reputable news sources. But I've known people that like to sleep a lot during the day, and they were also very heavy. They were also, and that's a kind way of putting it. They were very heavy people. Also, this morning, the story, CNN, I've read a lot about CNN this week that I have not read before, because the president has been doing battle with CNN. And the reporters there are getting very upset, some of the reporters claiming that they're worried that there will be violence against reporters. Just like we had violence against the politicians, they're worried that there'll be violence against the reporters because of this heated argument with President Trump. I saw online that CNN has done a serious news analysis of President Obama's jeans. This is also not a joke. President Obama is on vacation in Indonesia, and he wore some jeans. And so CNN did a big story on their website, not in their entertainment section or in their news of the weird. They did it in their politics section of their website, and it was an analysis of the president's new jeans, and it gave the history of his jeans, the different times he's worn jeans, the reaction to the jeans, what has he said previously about jeans. I don't know. I guess, do you call that fake news? They would be careful if you do. They'll get very mad at you. But no, I can't find real news in there. That doesn't even sound like Entertainment Tonight would cover it. No offense to Entertainment Tonight. Now that we're connected with Local 15, I'm watching Local 15 at night for news, and that means that when that news is over, I'm thrust into Entertainment Tonight. And I don't think Entertainment Tonight would do a story on President Obama's jeans. I mean, is that the lowest point of the ladder of doing news? Is you're talking about what somebody wears? Now, if they were jeans that had no rear end in them or something, then I could see maybe it would be news if he were wearing jeans that were like chaps or something. But they're just jeans. So I don't, well, anyway, I consider that fake news, even though I probably shouldn't say that. Well, I guess Darwin was scheduled to call. Something has happened. So I'll be well, he may call at any point in the future. So you might want to stay tuned in for the next several hours just to see if Darwin pops up. We'll anxiously await that here on News Radio 710 WNTM and 99.5 FM The Jag. We're about to go into a break here at the top of the hour. We have coming up for you, I've talked about Darwin and how we wished he would call. You'll be able to hear him in just a moment with news headlines from Local 15. You'll also get news headlines from Fox, and we also have the traffic and the weather for you coming up on the show. And the traffic has been dramatic today because we did our traffic reporter reported that there was a water rescue off the causeway. Wasn't it last week that somebody ended up going off the causeway and had to be pulled out of their vehicle, or they had to escape their vehicle? And that's happened again today. This time near Spanish Fort. Somebody went off the causeway. So all this is coming up for you as we continue on the Uncle Henry Show.
Summer involves a lot of driving, to camp, to work, to soccer, back home to grab what they forgot, and then back to soccer again. So wouldn't you like to know your car is up for it? Enter Hum by Verizon. Now you can check your car's health from your phone with vehicle diagnostics, drive with more peace of mind thanks to 24/7 emergency assistance, and let the kids stream and game on the go with your car's own Wi-Fi hotspot. Get Hum and get where you're going. Learn more at hum.com. Verizon Wi-Fi available on Hum X only. Data usage applies. Coverage not available everywhere. Visit vzw.com for availability.
With Quicken Loans, our simple process helps you understand all the details so you can be confident that you're getting the right mortgage. Call 800-QUICKEN or go completely online with Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.875%, APR 4.23%. Call 800-QUICKEN or get started online at rocketmortgage.com. Apply simply, understand fully, mortgage confidently.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
Angelo's here from Mobile Bay Coins. Angelo, what if I don't want to be a coin collector, but I want to be a coin investor? Can you help me learn about that?
Uncle Henry, what we do every day is teach people about coins and coin collecting, and as you said, even investing in coins. Now, we are not investment advisors. We're not going to teach you how to invest. What we are going to do is we're going to teach you where the values of those coins have been over the years, what we have done with our portfolios of coins, and how much money you can make or potentially lose depending on how you make those decisions. We will help you understand the rare coin and collectible coin market.
You don't mind taking the time to help me learn this stuff?
Uncle Henry, I would rather have you come to the shop 3 or 4 times and have conversations with us and learn and understand coin collecting before you spend 1 cent, for goodness sakes.
That's at Mobile Bay Coins, 2204 Government Street in Midtown Mobile. Look for Mobile Bay Coins on Facebook. You'll find them online at mobilebaycoins.com.
Your home for Uncle Henry every morning at 5. News Radio 710 WNTM Mobile, an iHeart radio station. 99.9 WMXC HD3 Mobile. 710 Time Saver Traffic from the Dean McCrary Porsche Traffic Center.
Well, we're looking at a couple of big interstate problems this morning. One of them is an accident on eastbound I-10 at Rangeline. Now, the vehicles have been off on the left shoulder for a while, but now you've got emergency units there, and they're blocking the left lane for safety with cones in the roadway. This is contributing to a delay, which looks like about 4 to 5 miles, well back into Tillman's Corner at this point. Also, southbound I-65, the ramp to eastbound I-10. Right lane still blocked by an accident on that ramp. Delay from before Halls Mill. I'm Ray Romero.
This report is brought to you by Unbound.org. Right now, there's a girl in India who has dreams bigger than her village. Right now, there's an elder in Guatemala who dreams of a life of greater dignity and less loneliness. You can help change the future of one person in a single moment. Begin the change at Unbound.org.
Gulf Coast weather from Local 15 and the Chemco Metal Buildings Weather Center.
Good Thursday morning, everyone. Get the rain gear ready to go. Showers and storms will be with us all day long, and heavy rain is likely. Most of us will see between 1 and 2 inches of rain, but some spots will pick up to 3 inches of rain by the evening hours. Otherwise, expect gray skies with highs in the lower 80s. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn for Local 15 News and this iHeart radio station.
It caused chaos at first and protests, then it was blocked, now it's back. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump's travel ban goes into effect later today after the Supreme Court unblocked it. Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
When the travel ban goes into effect at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, foreign nationals from 6 predominantly Muslim countries with ties to terrorism can enter the country only if they have a credible claim of a bona fide relationship in the U.S. Otherwise, they're temporarily banned for 90 days. Those trying to come to the U.S. for business or professional reasons need to show a relationship that is formal, documented, and formed in the ordinary course rather than for the purpose of evading the executive order. Dave?
John, while Senate Republicans keep trying to figure out a bill to replace Obamacare they can all support, the House will vote today on 2 bills dealing with illegal immigration. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, the bills crack down on illegal immigrants who commit crimes in the cities that provide them sanctuary. President Trump met with victims' families yesterday.
Your voices were heard all across the entire world, right? You better believe it. Nobody died in vain, I can tell you.
The No Sanctuary for Criminals Act cuts off certain federal funding to jurisdictions which refuse to cooperate with immigration officials. Kate's Law imposes tougher penalties for deported immigrants who come back to the U.S. The bill named for Kate Steinle, murdered in San Francisco by an undocumented immigrant deported multiple times. Dave.
Rachel, Democrats oppose the Sanctuary Cities bill, and critics of Kate's Law fear it would criminalize illegal immigrants who do not commit crimes. Police in Georgia are not going to file charges against a man and his son who endured a kidnapping ordeal, taken at gunpoint early yesterday, forced to drive to an ATM. At one point, the kidnapper put the gun down. The father reached for it, told his son to choke the guy, and then dad fired 5 shots, killing him. The economy a little stronger than first thought in the first quarter, revised up to 1.4% for GDP growth. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Should Pritchard have its own school system? Good morning, I'm Local 15's Darwin Singleton with this iHeartRadio News Update. Pritchard City Councilman Lorenzo Martin is exploring the idea of the city of Pritchard breaking away from the Mobile County public school system. Martin believes the move would bring more business into the city of Pritchard. He says the first step is a feasibility study. Funding for a separate school system would have to come from the state. Another deadly shooting overnight marks Mobile's 4th homicide in 4 days. The latest killing happening at Ridge Manor Apartments in Mobile. MPD has not confirmed the identity of the victim, but a resident tells us it was a security guard at the complex. No immediate word on arrests in the case. A global cyber attack continues to hinder the largest container transport company on the Gulf Coast, APM Terminal in Mobile. APM officials tell us they'll operate without their computer system again today, and that's causing a backup of trucks delivering and receiving cargo at the Mobile terminal. Shipping giant Maersk, the parent company of APM Terminals, was one of the many companies around the world that was attacked. The 60th Annual Distinguished Young Women National Finals is this weekend at the Mobile Civic Center. It's the largest and oldest scholarship program for high school girls and a Mobile tradition. Also, free Friday family movie night at the west end of Dauphin Island. This week's movie is Jaws. Showtime 8 p.m. Bring chairs and blankets and bug spray just in case, but no pets, glass, or grills. News breaks while you sleep, so when you wake, we'll catch you up on what's happening along the Gulf Coast and around the world every weekday morning. On Local 15 today, we start at 5 a.m. I'm Local 15's Darwin Singleton for this iHeartRadio station.
From the Mercedes-Benz of Mobile Studios, this is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show, thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM 99.5 FM, The Jag. and just a traffic mess. We're going to have traffic for you again here in just a few minutes. We do it every 10 minutes on the 9, so keep it here, and we'll have the latest on the traffic for you. Just a lot of problems out there. It's almost like some people have never driven in the rain. I'm not being critical. I don't want to be critical. I'm just saying. It's as if some people maybe have never driven in the rain. Now, the President of the United States has tweeted. He tweeted during the news break. And I want to share with you his tweet. Now, this is really something. This week, the president has been attacking the news media. He's attacked CNN this week, and CNN was really upset. And he attacked the New York Times. Today, though, he has really gone after the Morning Joe show with Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski, I think is the lady's name. I don't really know a lot about it because I work during that time slot, so I never get to see it because I'm on at the same time they are. But listen to this. The president has tweeted 2 tweets attacking the Morning Joe show. Tweet number 1. I heard poorly rated at Morning Joe speaks badly of me. Don't watch anymore. Then how come low IQ Crazy Mika along with Psycho Joe came, and then the next tweet, to Mar-a-Lago 3 nights in a row around New Year's Eve and insisted on joining me. She was bleeding badly from a facelift. I said no. How about that? Is wow. What a this is a presidential set of tweets that you'll be hearing about throughout the day. And I didn't know. Now, calling Joe Scarborough Psycho Joe, that's one thing. But he must really dislike Mika. Calling her low IQ, Crazy Mika, and claiming that she was bleeding badly from a facelift. This is there's probably I would like to see the facial expressions of all the people at MSNBC this morning. Wow. All right, well, look, traffic and weather together. That's coming up right now, and then we're right back on the Uncle Henry Show.
Time saver traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
Here's just what we need. Another interstate accident. This has occurred on westbound I-10 on the Bayway near the Causeway interchange. Vehicles out of the road, but there has been some moderate slowing there. Much bigger problem, though, is facing eastbound I-10 drivers due to an accident spot near Range Line. Left lane remains blocked there. There is a solid 4 to 5 mile long backup all the way into Tillman's Corner, and a crash still blocking the right lane on the ramp from southbound I-65 to eastbound I-10. That delay is from Halls Mill. I'm Ray Romero.
Gulf Coast weather from Local 15 and the Southern Cancer Center. Weather Center.
Good Thursday, everyone. We've got a flash flood watch in effect for most of Mobile and Baldwin counties as heavy rain will be with us. Showers and storms will produce up to 3 inches of rain in spots. Otherwise, it's a cloudy day with a high in the low 80s. A few showers tonight will give way to more storms on Friday as we climb into the upper 80s. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn for Local 15 News and this iHeart radio station.
This report is brought to you by the T.J. Martell Foundation. Join the T.J. Martell Foundation in the fight against leukemia, cancer, and AIDS. Your support helps facilitate cutting-edge research that will lead to more effective treatments and save more lives. Visit tjmartell.org to learn more.
News? Check. Traffic and weather? Check. Opinions? Check. This is the Uncle Henry Show, only on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show. Thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM 99.5 FM The Jag. Yes, in the last segment of the show, I shared with you the president's latest tweets. I'm really, there's got to be a lot more to this than I know. I'm really, if you just tuned in, I won't talk about this a lot, just so you'll know what I'm talking about. The president tweeted an insult of the Morning Joe TV show. It was a 2-tweet insult. He called Joe Scarborough Psycho Joe, but he really has a problem with Mika, the lady on that show, saying that he calls her low IQ crazy Mika and claimed that she had been bleeding badly from a facelift at some point around New Year's Eve of this year. My curiosity is going big time because I'm wondering what they must have said something to trigger this particular set of tweets. So I'm sure there's more to come, and I'll keep my eye on his Twitter feed as the morning goes on. Meanwhile, in the last hour of the show, I was talking about how the governor of Alabama, Kate Ivory, issued a memorandum yesterday declaring July 3 a state holiday and saying that if you're an essential worker and you have to work on July 3 because it's an essential service, that you're going to be given time off as soon as possible to make up for it. So July 3rd declared a state holiday, and a lot of companies are doing the same thing, including our company. I got an email from a government worker who is very anxious about the state holiday. And this is what the email reads. Subject line on the email is Monday pre-holiday holiday. The email reads, Uncle Henry, I wish to remain anonymous. I work in maintenance for Mobile County Public School System. I've been in contact with people in Baldwin County Public School System maintenance. We are hearing that we do not qualify for state employee holiday. Can you please question someone and find out if this is true? And that email from an anonymous person. So it's creating a domino effect. And now people that are not qualified for this day off, that's not really a holiday, are now wishing and yearning for the holiday. They're feeling that they're losing out on something that wasn't even real to begin with. July 3 is not really a holiday. And now it's being perceived as a holiday even though it's not a holiday. And some people are feeling that they're being left out. They're sad. They're wishing they had the holiday. These government workers yearning to have the holiday. Will anyone work on July 3? Once this is all said and done. All right, look, I know you want traffic and weather because the traffic is really this morning. So stick with us. Traffic and weather coming up in just a moment on the Uncle Henry Show.
The folks at Mobile Bay Harley want to see you on a Harley-Davidson. They're so serious that they're offering a $1,000 gift card with the purchase of any pre-owned Harley. That's right, they're willing to pay you to ride one home. Catch Bike Nights on Thursday the 22nd and every other Thursday following as you join them for free food, drinks, and...
Welcome back. Hey, we're here on Facebook. The radio listeners hearing about Harley-Davidsons. Because the people that listen to News Radio 710 generally are over the age of 40 or 45, and that's prime Harley purchasing age. And when I go back on the radio, I'm going to try and find some other news items to discuss, but I remain just overwhelmingly curious about Donald Trump's tweeting about Mika Brzezinski It's especially him claiming that the last time he saw her, she was bleeding from a facelift. The last time he tweeted about a woman bleeding, it really, will you remember? What, I want to know, what did they say? They must have said something about him. He says he doesn't watch anymore. He must have seen something to tweet that. That must have been, I am really. And the thing is, he may have caused, the ratings for their show may skyrocket tomorrow. To see how they react. So, in an attempt to launch a personal insult, he may have inadvertently helped that TV show. And I have noted that the news, now it is a story all over the news, that it's created headlines where it's being reported. All right, well, in other news, I saw the story that the R2-D2, do you remember R2-D2 from Star Wars? A very annoying character in Star Wars because it's a robot. It looks like a vacuum cleaner. And it beeps and whistles, and the other characters act like they can understand it, which it makes you want to go in and slap them. Because you know they can't understand it. It's beeps and whistles. The R2-D2 prop, the vacuum cleaner, somebody has bought it in an auction for over $2 million. Somebody spent $2 million to buy this vacuum cleaner. Can you imagine having that amount of money that you can just almost set it on fire? To me, that's the equivalent of you've set your money on fire and you're holding it and you're burning your money. That's essentially what they've done. Because now they've spent $2.5 million on a vacuum cleaner that was in a movie with Mark Hamill. All right, look. Stand by. We're about to go back to radio.
Drivers due to an accident spotting a range line. Left lane remains blocked there. There is a solid 4 to 5 mile long backup all the way into Tillman's Corner, and a crash still blocking the right lane on the ramp from southbound I-65 to eastbound I-10. That delay is from Halls Mill. I'm Ray Romero.
This report brought to you by Cockrell's Paint and Body Shop. Mary Booth for Cockrell's Body Shop, proud to be the Gulf Coast #1 collision repair center for over 60 years. It's where I take my cars, 8 locations. Cockrell's Body Shop.
Gulf Coast weather from Local 15 and the Chemco Metal Buildings Weather Center.
Well, here we go again. The rain is back. It will be heavy at times today. Most areas can expect between 1 and 2 inches of rain by this evening. However, 3 inches or more of rain is possible in a few places. Otherwise, it's a mostly cloudy day and cool with a high of only 82. For Local 15 News, I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn for this iHeartRadio station.
Your home for Rush every weekday at 11. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show, thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. I will continue to watch the president's Twitter feed and also try to find out what Mika Brzezinski did to get completely leveled the way that she was leveled by the president today. In other news, in this country, one of the big battles going on in the country is the argument, the discussion over what to do about health care and health care insurance. how to pay. I guess the argument, we all want health care. The argument is how to pay for it. What is the role of the government? What's fair with insurance companies? What's fair with pharmaceutical companies, et cetera, et cetera. We've been talking about it for years, even way before Obamacare. It was something that people were worried about. Medical bills causing bankruptcies, all of this, a big issue. And many people in the country would like to be like Europe or Canada. They would like to have that type of system, socialized medicine, single payer. And then examples pop up that frighten people from doing it. There's an example that has popped up out of Great Britain. This is out today from the Daily Mail. And it's a story about a baby that is terminally ill. It's a 10-month-old baby. There's a couple in their 30s. The baby is Charlie. And the baby has a rare genetic condition and has brain damage. And there are treatments in the United States that are like experimental treatments, experimental therapy. And the couple wants to bring their 10-month-old baby to the United States and use the experimental treatment to see if the treatment will help their child. And so what they've done is they've raised 1.4 million pounds. So they've raised the money to do this. They've got 1.4 million pounds. They've got the money. They want to bring the 10-month-old baby to the United States of America to get this experimental treatment to see if they can save the baby's life. But they can't. The courts there will not allow it. The doctors in this system have declared that the therapy in the United States is experimental. It will not help. And so the doctors have declared that the baby should die with dignity. And the doctors have said that the life support should be turned off for the baby. And so they've gone to court. The parents have they've got the money to bring the child to the United States. Doctors won't let them. They've gone to court in Great Britain. They lost in court in Great Britain. So the courts there said no. Even though you got the money to do this on your own, you cannot do it. Then they took their battle. They appealed to the court. The next level is in France. And a court there said, no, you can't do it. Your appeal is denied. And so it's a final decision. And so that means that the baby's life support machine will be turned off. And even though they've got the means to do it, not from the taxpayers, they've raised the money on their own, they cannot seek treatment for their child. I know that's an extreme example, that many of us, fortunately, are not in that type of situation. But it's an example of how these things, I don't want to be under that setup. And the doctors there may be right that the therapy won't help the child, but these are the child's parents. They've raised the money on their own. Their child, their money, why can't they find out? So whatever system we have in this country, I hope we don't have something like this, where someone, even though you've got the means to try something new, someone can say, sorry, no, we don't agree with you. We're turning off the machines. All right, yeah. Downer, huh? We've had so many years to work on it. Let's hope that whatever is worked on is a little bit better than what we're hearing about out of Great Britain. All right, there's more to come. In just a moment, we've got news from Fox, news from Darwin. We are going to also have traffic and weather for you here in just a moment. Traffic, very important this morning because so many problems have popped up as people forgot what it was like to drive in the rain from last week, and we've had some problems there. So stick with us here as we continue. More Uncle Henry Show to come here on News Radio 710 WNTM and 99.5 FM The Jag. You can also find previous episodes of the show at newsradio710.com in both podcast form and in video form.
Okay, so if you live in America's heartland, you'll be thrilled to know the Democrat Party wants to make amends. A Democrat Congressional Campaign Committee has appointed a congresswoman from Illinois, Cheri Bustos, to head their Heartland Engagement Office. Ms. Bustos says the Heartland is critical to Democrats winning back the House. She says that her party has got to do better when it comes to listening to people from small towns and rural areas. Flyover country, in other words. Now, she says that Democrats want to help people in the Heartland. And she wants them to find good-paying jobs, raise strong families, and live the American dream in the great American wasteland, Heartland. Now, as the new Heartland Engagement Ambassador, Ms. Bustos wants to build a partnership with you in the wasteland, Heartland. Every time Democrats lose big, they do this, folks. When Howard Dean took over the DNC years ago, he promised that Democrats would stop ignoring the Heartland and pay attention to their values. But it's all BS. Democrats despise the values of the Heartland. They mock them every chance they get. Remember Obama's bitter clingers, you people in small-town America holding onto your guns and your religion? The Democrat Party agenda has never been about engaging with the Heartland's traditional values. It's about wiping them out.
Finding great candidates to hire can be, well, like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter is different. It doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them. With its powerful technology, ZipRecruiter distributes your job everywhere it needs to be to find the right candidates. In fact, over 80% of jobs on ZipRecruiter get a qualified candidate in just one day. So, while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, only ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
Used by businesses of all sizes, ZipRecruiter offers the most qualified job candidates with immediate results. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio offer. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio offer for your free trial. ZipRecruiter.com/radio offer.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
Well, we are getting some better news from a couple of our problem spots. The crash has been with us the longest this morning. It occurred on the ramp from southbound I-65 to eastbound I-10. Right lane of the ramp had been blocked for better than an hour this morning. They have just removed that vehicle so that that ramp has fully reopened to traffic. You do have a heavy delay, which is now unwinding. Also, if you're traveling eastbound I-10 at Range Line, accident still working there, but they have reopened the left lane. Delays remain heavy back into Tillman's Corner. I'm Ray Romero.
Gulf Coast weather from Local 15 and the Southern Cancer Center. Weather Center.
Good Thursday morning, everyone. Get the rain gear ready to go. Showers and storms will be with us all day long, and heavy rain is likely. Most of us will see between 1 and 2 inches of rain, but some spots will pick up to 3 inches of rain by the evening hours. Otherwise, expect gray skies with highs in the lower 80s. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn for Local 15 News and this iHeart radio station.
Revelations expected today in a mysterious probe near Pensacola. I'm Local 15's Darwin Singleton with this iHeartRadio News Update. It's only being called a criminal investigation right now, but we expect to learn later this morning why federal investigators were seen surrounding a house in Warrenton, Florida. The Florida State Attorney's Office has scheduled a news conference in Pensacola this morning to discuss the investigation. We do know this: the State Attorney's Office, FDLE, and the Escambia County Sheriff's Office has been assisting the Pensacola Police Department with a missing persons case. That news conference set for 10 this morning. Tonight, family and friends remembering a young mother who lost her life to violence. Laterica McMillan was shot to death Sunday, and now the father of her child, Joseph Shavers, is facing charges in her death. A vigil is tonight at Municipal Park beginning at 7. A big announcement coming Friday on Foley's new amusement park and entertainment destination called OWA. OWA officials say they're ready to offer an inside look at how the park is shaping up, and they're expected to reveal ticket prices and the official opening day for that park in Foley. Changes ahead for the Beach Express toll bridge in Orange Beach. Right now, through Labor Day weekend, drivers will pay less to get across to the beach, $2.75 instead of the usual $3.50. Also, American Roads, a company that owns the bridge, is spending up to $5 million in improvements on the bridge and toll plaza. News breaks while you sleep, so when you wake, we'll catch you up on what's happening along the Gulf Coast and around the world every weekday morning on Local 15 Today. We start at 5 a.m. I'm Local 15's Darwin Singleton for this iHeart Radio station.
Fox News Radio, I'm Paul Stevens. President Trump's travel ban going into effect at 8 p.m. Eastern Time tonight.
Foreign nationals from 6 predominantly Muslim countries with ties to terrorism can enter the country only if they have a credible claim of a bona fide relationship in the U.S. Otherwise, they're temporarily banned for 90 days. Those trying to come to the U.S. for business or professional reasons need to show a relationship that is formal, documented, and formed in the ordinary course.
Fox's John Decker at the White House. The Supreme Court agreeing to hear challenges to the ban this fall. The House votes today on a pair of immigration bills.
The No Sanctuary for Criminals Act cuts off certain federal funding to jurisdictions which refuse to cooperate with immigration officials. Kate's law imposes tougher penalties for deported immigrants who come back to the U.S.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland in Washington. Fox News, we report, you decide.
This is Uncle Henry with news and comment. Could yoga be dangerous for some people? I'll tell you after this for SAD Healthcare. SAD Healthcare now offering LSVT, that's research-based treatment for the debilitating movement and voice-related effects of Parkinson's disease. Call 251-343-9600. It's spelled SAAD, sadhealthcare.com. A new study shows that yoga is more dangerous than previously thought for some people, that it causes as many injuries as some other sports. Researchers at Sydney University said that yoga can cause musculoskeletal pain, mostly in the arms, in more than 1 in 10 participants. However, 74% of participants say that yoga actually helps them fight pain. So I guess if yoga hurts you, then you should just do additional yoga. More of me at newsradio710.com.
Summer involves a lot of driving to camp, to work, to soccer, back home to grab what they forgot, and then back to soccer again. So wouldn't you like to know your car is up for it? Enter Hum by Verizon. Now you can check your car's health from your phone with vehicle diagnostics, drive with more peace of mind thanks to 24/7 emergency assistance, and let the kids stream and game on the go with your car's own Wi-Fi hotspot. Get Hum and get where you're going. Learn more at hum.com. Verizon Wi-Fi available on HumX only. Data usage applies. Coverage not available everywhere. Visit vzw.com for availability.
With Quicken Loans, our simple process helps you understand all the details so you can be confident that you're getting the right mortgage. Call 800-QUICKEN or go completely online with Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.875%, APR 4.23%. Call 800-QUICKEN or get started online at rocketmortgage.com. Apply simply, understand fully, mortgage confidently.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
This is the Alabama Board of Heating, Air Conditioning, and Refrigeration Contractors with a message to anyone considering purchasing a new heating and air conditioning system for their home. To help insure yourself against the possibility of substandard or poor workmanship, be sure your contractor is certified. In order to protect yourself, have the contractor prove they are certified by the board by asking to see their state certification card. Don't be a victim. Ask for the card.
We love Nick Saban. Just wanted to get that out of the way. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show. Thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. Be careful driving. I know you, well, I feel silly telling you to be careful driving because you drive as you will. And I'm sure you're doing your best, aren't you? Let me go into the email inbox. I've got another email about the July 3, as many people being given July 3 off. Let me go into the email inbox. Subject line on the email is how to fix all of the injustice. Email reads, Uncle Henry, as I listened to you talk about the unhappy people who are missing out on the fictional holiday of July 3rd, the thought crossed my mind that perhaps there is a way to fix that injustice and so many others. We should all just stop working. Allow the government to give us free education, free food, free cars, and free health care. Then we could all just hang out and relax all the time, and no one would ever be treated differently from anyone else. And that email from Reverend Liberty. I think that, or Father Liberty, I can't remember the new name. Mr. Liberty, thank you for your email. Mr. Liberty, I did spend a lot of time last hour talking about the fictional holiday of July 3, and there's been backlash. I'm getting backlash. My boss has emailed me, and he's ordering me off the air Monday. So I'm being forced to participate. I'm being ordered off the air Monday. And I can't share with you the backlash emails because I'm getting, people are emailing in anger, but they don't want their emails. They're saying, please do not read this on the air. And then they're just taking me to task, explaining to me how this is, that it's a ridiculous, the idea that you should work on Monday, that it's an absolutely ridiculous thing. And that I should shut my mouth. Again, thank you for your email. Again, I cannot share with you the backlash emails. They're specifically marked do not read on the air. In other news items, let's get to something happier other than backlash and other than tweets about facelifts. I did see the news that the Beach Express is going to lower its price. So if you're one of the people that wants to go and use the toll road or the toll bridge going to the beaches this summer, not just for Independence Day weekend, but for the summer, up through Labor Day, the toll is going to be reduced. So good news for the toll lovers. All right, let's get into traffic and weather together.
And now the associated delay has worked itself out as well. You're most decidedly not delay-free on eastbound I-10, though. We still have that accident spot in the big curve near Range Line. Off on the left shoulder, main lanes are not affected, but delays have been as far back as Tillman's Corner. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Ray Romero.
This report is brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. This month at participating Napa Auto Parts stores, the rugged Bluetooth speaker with 20-hour battery life is just $29.99. That's right, now you can have the freedom to play music wherever you please for just $29.99 while supplies last.
Gulf Coast weather from Local 15 and the Kemco Metal Buildings Weather Center.
Good Thursday, everyone. We've got a flash flood watch in effect for most of Mobile and Baldwin counties as heavy rain will be with us. Showers and storms will produce up to 3 inches of rain in spots. Otherwise, it's a cloudy day with a high in the low 80s. A few showers tonight will give way to more storms on Friday as we climb into the upper 80s. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn for Local 15 News and this iHeart radio station.
This report is brought to you by Bonefish Grill. Announcing new summer duos at Bonefish Grill, like the wood-grilled center-cut sirloin and cold water lobster tail, or cod piccata paired with lobster stuffed shrimp, starting at just $19.90. They're only here for a limited time, and only at Bonefish Grill.
This morning at 9, Ask the Expert. Then Rush at 11. Right now, it's Uncle Henry on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show. Thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM 99.5 FM. The Jag. We'll have more traffic and weather for you soon. We do it every 10 minutes on the 9s. We have immigration back in the news. Not all immigration. Well, we have several different types of immigration back in the news. Not the legal kind, though. And I'm sure you've heard the headlines this morning about the travel ban. The travel ban that was on, and then it was off, and now it's back on, thanks to the Supreme Court. So the travel ban against the countries that have been trouble spots in the past will be implemented again. So I'm wondering what will happen at major airports. You might remember the last time the travel ban was in effect, big protests at airports in some cities in the country. And if you want people to pay attention to your protest, this is probably a weekend, because we're going into Independence Day weekend, that there are going to be a lot of people at the airport. So probably big protests at airports. I'm guessing on that. So you've got that in the news. You'll be hearing more about that. And then also the immigration legislation that's going to be voted on in the U.S. House of Representatives today. Kate's Law, that has to do with crimes committed by illegal immigrants, and also a sanctuary city law that would make it so that sanctuary cities not cooperating with the federal government would lose federal money. I guess they'll pass the House. I don't know that the votes are there for passage in the Senate, but you'll be hearing more about immigration today. We used to hear a lot about it. It's a topic that was one of the biggest topics of the election because of the building of the wall. You remember that? Do you have wall building nostalgia? Where you sit back and remember when building the wall was a topic, and it's not been a topic. Russia has been the topic. And I'm still wondering if the wall will ever be built. I know it still comes up from time to time as a topic. In fact, there was talk of putting solar panels on it or something like that. I think the president said something about it at one of his rallies last week about putting solar panels on the wall to generate electricity. But will it ever get built? I'm wondering if it's going to be like the bridge that some Mobilians would like to see built so that they don't have to go through the tunnels anymore. Will we be waiting for the wall the way we've waited for the bridge, which means that I may not live to see a wall or a bridge? Well, that topic that we used to talk about a lot, immigration, is back, maybe temporarily, but it is still back. So you'll see that in the news later today if you're paying attention. Traffic and weather together coming up next, and then more show. Uncle Henry Show continues.
While they were watching
Obama spying on Americans.
You were listening. Keep on listening.
It's so sick.
Sean Hannity, 2 till 5. News Radio 710, WNTM.
This is Uncle Henry. I want to tell you about Dr. Thomas Bender and Advanced Dermatology and Skincare Center. We love living on the Gulf Coast. We love all the fun activities, the fishing, the golf. But years of being out in the elements, well, that can accelerate damage to your skin. That can accelerate the aging process of your skin. Dr. Bender can help you with that. Dr. Bender is a board-certified dermatologist. He provides the latest innovations in medical skincare and cosmetic skincare, and he also has all the latest technology. He's got 3 convenient locations, Mobile, Daphne, and Bay Minette. You can find out more about Dr. Bender and all of the services he provides by going online The website is advanceddermclinic.com. That's advanceddermclinic.com. You can make an appointment there online, or you can call for your appointment. The number is 251-631-3570. That's Advanced Dermatology and Skincare Center.
There's never a good time for a power outage. A storm can leave you without power for days. But with a Generac home standby generator from Baldwin Heating and Air, you can be prepared when a storm hits. Right now, select new Generac home standby generators from Baldwin Heating and Air come with a free 10-year warranty. And Baldwin Heat and Air services and installs Generac generators with our certified technicians. So we're here if you ever need us. Control your power, control your life with a Generac generator from Baldwin Heat and Air. Call 251-626-1159. That's 626-1159. Or visit baldwinhvac.com. Alabama license number 99108.
Hey, this is Uncle Henry. I want to tell you about a dentist I found in Mobile named H. Radcliffe Brown Jr. When I moved back to town, I asked people if they could recommend a dentist, and they recommended Radcliffe Brown. I had a cracked tooth. I needed a crown on it. I went to see Dr. Brown at his office, 1501 University Boulevard, and he had just remodeled with state-of-the-art technology. So he was able to make the crown for me while I waited. It was a same-day crown, no temporary crown, and it fit perfectly. Dr. Brown has a family-friendly practice. He offers a wide range of services, including cleanings, whitening, cosmetic bonding, the same-day crowns I just told you about, veneers, bridges, dentures, partials. He restores implants. If you're a new patient, you can get a new patient appointment within just a few days. Remember the name. It's H. Radcliffe Brown Jr. Call him at 251-342-5636. While his website is under construction, you can look for him on Facebook. Look for H. Radcliffe Brown Jr. Dentist on Facebook.
It's easy to find Mike Ward's Liberty Safes. At I-65 and Moffett Road, look for the giant yellow safe. Inside is Alabama's largest selection of top-quality safes. When you buy a Liberty Safe, you get superior protection for your most valuable possessions.
Come to Mike Ward's today to get the style of safe at the right security level to fit your needs. You're going to get service no other store can offer.
Mike Ward's Liberty Saves, I-65 at Moffett Road. Lock 'em up.
Freedom! Freedom! iHeartRadio brings you skipping freedom. Sometimes you're just not in the mood, or you just like tapping your phone, so have unlimited skips.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
Say you're listening to your favorite custom artist station on iHeartRadio, and that song comes on that reminds you of that one time with that one person. Skip it. You love music, and iHeartRadio only wants you to hear your favorite tracks. So upgrade today and skip your way to happiness. iHeartRadio Free, iHeartRadio Plus, and iHeartRadio All Access. Powered by Napster. Pick the one that's right for you. Free radio and your music all in one app. iHeartRadio. Go to iHeartRadio.com now to upgrade.
Earlier accident that really made life miserable for southbound I-65 drivers this morning is gone. This occurred on the ramp to eastbound I-10. Lanes have been open for a while, and now the associated delay has worked itself out as well. You're most decidedly not delay-free on eastbound I-10, though. We still have that accident spot in the big curve near Range Line. Off on the left shoulder, main lanes are not affected, but delays have been as far back as Tillman's Corner. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Ray Romero.
This report is brought to you by McDonald's.
Hit McDonald's for mega values and variety. For a limited time, enjoy soft drinks for $1 each. Small McCafe Delights for $2, and sausage biscuits, burritos, and McMuffins just $1.19 each. Price and participation may vary.
Gulf Coast weather from Local 15 and the Southern Cancer Center. Weather Center.
Well, here we go again. The rain is back. It will be heavy at times today. Most areas can expect between 1 and 2 inches of rain by this evening. However, 3 inches or more of rain is possible in a few places. Otherwise, it's a mostly cloudy day and cool with a high of only 82. For Local 15 News, I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn for this iHeartRadio station.
Roll Tide. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show, thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM. 99.5 FM The Jag. No new tweets from the president. I'm watching the Twitter closely after the earlier tweet attacking the Morning Joe show. Very personal attack on Mika Brzezinski. calling her low IQ, crazy, and claiming that she was bleeding. The last time he saw her, she was bleeding from a facelift. That's a rough tweet. That would be a rough tweet coming from anybody. I wonder what is, when it's a professional setting, like a TV host, what is the worst of those insults? Being called crazy? Being called low IQ, or the facelift thing? Ariel, this is weird, but join me here on this, because this, if you're able to, this is a savagely personal attack. What do you think is worse? To call somebody low IQ, crazy, or bleeding from a facelift?
I don't actually know what is being implied by bleeding from a facelift, so I'm going to go with low IQ for 100, Alex.
Okay. All right. I think crazy is...
Really?
Yeah, I
think... I call people crazy all the time.
Yeah, but this that's in regular everyday conversation. That may be crazy to you and crazy to me are different things. True. This is an official. This is somebody that's on TV giving the news that's being called crazy. There may be a little bit of difference there, but the bleeding, I guess. I've not had a facelift yet.
Me either.
But I guess it would be from the sutures, from the cutting on the face.
I mean, I'm not really sure what direction that insult was going, but that doesn't sound like something that you want to just insult somebody about. That sounds like a serious matter that needs to be taken care of.
Well, it really does.
Yeah,
it really does.
Yeah. So I'm going to stick with telling somebody they have a low IQ.
Okay. All right. I'll remember. I don't ever plan to insult you, but I'll remember, especially to stay away from that.
Okay, good. We're on the same page.
Okay,
then.
Thank you very much. And, yeah, just using the word bleeding in his tweet, after the Megyn Kelly tweet from when he was running for president, this is really, really quite a tweet. All right, I will get off his tweet. I know that you would like other things. Forbes magazine has come out with its list of the wealthiest women in the United States of America. Number one on the list is someone I've never heard of, but now I want to follow her career. It's a lady of the last name is Ilitch, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, Marian Ilitch. She's the co-founder of Little Caesars Pizza. She was on the list last year, but she's moved up. Her fortune has grown by $3 billion. She also has some ownership of the Detroit Red Wings hockey team. She also has some ownership of the Detroit Tigers. So quite a bit of wealth there with the lady that was the co-founder of Little Caesars Pizza. And I remain curious about how much profit is in that pizza. Because when I think about it, I can't figure it out. Because it's at $5. This is not a commercial for their pizza, by the way. But it's a $5 pizza plus tax. You go to the grocery store to buy frozen pizzas. If you do buy them, a lot of those frozen pizzas are $6, $7, $8. I'm curious how much profit can there possibly be in that pizza? And the answer is there must be a lot. There must be a lot. I don't know the whole list of the wealthiest women on the Forbes magazine list of the wealthiest women in the country. I just know that the lady from Little Caesars is number one. Oprah, number 3. So Oprah's still doing quite well, even though we don't see her as often as we used to. The COO of Facebook, Sheryl Sandberg, never heard of her, but she's number 12. So there is money in Facebook, in working at Facebook. The youngest woman on the list, I think 27 years old, would be Taylor Swift. All right, so, but I guess the lesson to be learned here, to get on the list, found a company of your own, like the lady that co-founded Little Caesars. We can all use more entrepreneurs in this country. All right, out of time for today's show. For the listeners on 99.5 The Jag, we have sports coming up, including Colin Cowherd, his show at 11, one of the more provocative hosts in the country. Colin Cowherd coming up at 11. Here on News Radio 710 WNTM, we have news from Fox next, followed by Ask the Expert. At 11, we've got Rush Limbaugh, who I'm sure will have some great analysis of not only the immigration situation today, also what's going on with the reaction in the media. CNN is worried that the American people are going to physically attack their reporters, allegedly, because of all this fighting with the president. So that to look forward to from Rush today. Thank you for listening. And for those on Facebook, thank you for watching.